Hi everyone, Manuel Ernesto here, and today my talk is about building a synchronous API with Ktor. Um, so let me share my presentation. Okay, what is Ktor? Ktor, as the website, the official website say, is a lightweight and flexible framework uh, that was building from scratch using Kotlin and the Coroutines, which allows as a developer to build a synchronous client and a server application. By flexible and lightweight, it means that Ktor allow you to use what you need and to structure your application the way you need it. You can also you can also extend Ktor with your own plugin in a very easy way. It's a build using Kotlin. From Kotlin, you can get to use a concise and multi-platform language. Coroutine in Ktor the power to build a synchronous program with an intuitive imperative flow. It's coroutine allow Ktor with as a server to execute requests with high performance. We know as a developer, modern application today need to be asynchronous sometimes, most of the time, to provide the best experience to users. And Ktor and Coroutines provide some facilities to do it in easy and straightforward way. Anything from microservices to multi-platform HTTP client, we can build with Ktor in a simple way. Ktor is an open source framework. It's a free. It's also funny to use, as we will see. The main element of Ktor is the application object that allow us to receive the requests from our client and also return the response to the client. In application, we can define our container like we can use it with Ktor, Tomcat, Jet, and the net. In this case, net comes as container. Also, we can install plugins when we need it, like routing plugin that we will use to handle requests from our client. We can also install a plugin for handle with authentication, and we can also install content negotiation that we will use to serialization and deserialization content. And also can use external library to work in Ktor, like Expository is a ORM framework to work with database. Okay, to set up a Ktor project, we can do in two ways, using IDE or the start Ktor.io website. Both we can do basically the same thing. Choose the project name, and after that add the plugin that you need to work with your project. After that, you can create or generate the project and open in your favorite ID. In my case, is IntelliJ ID. Okay, when we open the Ktor project, we will see some file generated like application KT file that allow us to see and define what container we will use on what port the project will run, and also call some other plugins like serialization file that contains the configuration for our JSON. Also our routing file that contain all routing function on our project. There is also, you can see the routing configures file is basically, as I say in the beginning, is basically an extension function from application object. In this case, when in this application file configuration route, we have there is a function. So where we will need to put all our routing function, where we will call our routing function. There's also a configuration serialization when we install content and negotiation. In this case, we will use JSON. We can also use other types. So when we create our custom routing functions, there is something that we need to pay attention. First, you need to call the routing function and pass the path for our API. In this case, as we can see in this example, I'm using API / speakers, and after that, the function that correspond that our HTTP request, like in this case, get for show something on the as a request, as a response on our client. We are just calling response test and print some test hello Android world wide to our client. If we run this application, we will see the result. Status code is okay, and also the message that we defined. Okay, going on for this project, I created some can see fake database, just a map that we will store speakers and retrieve on. Okay, this is a repository class that contains some functions to get users, all speakers, all speakers by ID, save speakers, delete one speaker, and also update the information about the speaker. Okay, there is also we can define also a service that will call our repository to save and manipulate all the speaker informations. Okay, we can see that both this class is just a regular Kotlin class with some functions, but for Ktor to allow us to work with request and response for our client, we need to have a route. In this case, I build a custom route. I call a speaker route, and also I'm receiving service as a parameter. In this case, forget all information from the database. We just need to get all from our service. In this case, we are not using response text. We are just using respond to present all information that will come from these functions. Okay, if we run this application, we will see. For that, we need also to update our configure routing file to call our customer routing. Before, if we don't do that, the application will not work properly. When you run this application, we can see we get an empty list of speaker because we don't save yet and speaker on our database, but it seems everything is working okay. As we can see, which just a few lines of code, we can build an endpoint that get all speakers from our database and show to the client in easy way. It's that the purpose of the Ktor allow APIs backend also consume others API in easy way. Okay, so to save one speaker to database, we also need to call a post method. Get, we have to use get. Now we will use using post to allow client to send us a JSON body, and we will get the JSON body from calling the receive function, passing the type of content that we expected that our client send to us, and everything magically will be serialized as the speaker object. And after that, we can our service and pass the speaker that we will just receive from a client and save it. In the end, we can also show this speaker that we finished to save in our database, and with some custom HTTP code. In this case, we using HTTP created as a status code. We just have here 3 lines of code, and we can save one user or one speaker, one data to our database in an easy way. If we run again our application this time using a post verb and passing the body to our request, we can see as a response created HTTP code, and the response, the object that we finished to save to on our database. If we call again our get method, we can see all the data from our database. Okay, for working with parameters in Ktor, it's also just calling a method and also a parameter. We need to check if there is some parameter, some ID as a parameter. If the user pass the right parameter, we can store that to a specific variable like ID. If the user not pass the parameter or pass the wrong type of parameter, we can return a bad request as a status code. If everything is okay, we can check in our database if is there any speaker with a corresponding ID. If is there any speaker with this specific ID, we can return to our client as a response. If not, we can just return not found HTTP code. We can also run our application. We can see passing one as a parameter. We just return the speaker with ID 1 from our database. Okay, for updating the same, we just call put method, passing the ID as a parameter. We can verify if there is a parameter from that our user sent to us. If everything goes okay, we can just update our speaker. If not, we can check if it's first if it is the wrong type of parameter to just send by the request a status code. If it is not in database, we just need to send a not found status code. We can check here all methods from call. There is an icon in the left that represents as all these functions is a suspend function. We all know that coroutine works with suspend functions to allow us to suspend some methods to avoid us to have a blocked thread. As in the beginning, Ktor was built from ground with coroutine in mind, with asynchronous in mind. Everything we're doing here is working with coroutine in mind, with asynchronous in mind to avoiding having blocking thread. If we run again our application, we can see that everything is working. Change the verb to put pass the parameter and also the body that you want to update from our speaker. To delete some information on our database is basically the same, just changing the type of the verb. In this case, delete, passing the ID as a parameter. Check if the user passed the right ID. If the user passes the right ID, we can just delete from database if there is a speaker with this ID. If not, we can just return to our client by the request if it is not the correct value or no or not found if there is no speaker with this specific ID. If everything works okay, we just return the status code no contact means everything's in database was deleted successfully. Okay. In this time, if we pass the wrong parameter, like I pass 3 as a parameter, there is no speakers on the database with ID 3. So the status code for this request will be not found because there is no speaker with the ID 3. But if we pass the ID that is some speakers have this ID in our database, so we will have X success as a with no content. My talk is a shorter, is a practical one, just to show an intro guide if you want to build an API for your application. If you already build the backend application and you want to try a new framework and use framework that's already come from Kotlin Coroutines in the mind, yeah, this is in intro talk. There is also some use for framework and lib, like Exposit if you want to work with a database. Exposit is also a framework we built it with Kotlin. There is also 2 links for dependency ingestion if we want to work with dependency, that's a coin and also Kotlin. Okay, there is some also link for this demo in my Git, and thank you. I think there is one. What is the significance of the wait to in the application start? Waiting to is to to allow us to make time out in our calls. There is one method that with when it's awaiting true, we can having a delay for some seconds. Basically, it's mostly used from test when we are testing our application.
All right. Any more questions? All right. I think that's that. Thanks, Manuel, once again for the talk.